Make the hinges rust.
I'm gonna give you one more chance to shut that ugly mouth of yours.
I'd say we're making good progress already, no? I am too, I must say. Good to know someone's got your back when the going's tough.
Will source change back? What if the line of source levels?
Well, I've got a contract to complete. After that, getting the hell out of Fort Misery seems the best option. I figure we track down my inside man, and then we take it from there.
Ifan shrugs off his backpack and reaches into its depths. After rummaging around, he holds out a tattered page to you, upon which you can see a broken wax seal in the shape of a wolf's paw.
Have a read of my contract and find out. So, time to find this Boris fellow. Ah, you've read my contract. What does that look in your eye mean?
He gives you an appraising look, almost admiring.
I don't do it for the money. A man needs focus in life, purpose.
He looks away, refusing to meet your eyes.
It's personal, though I don't know you well enough yet to say more. I take it you've no objections to the imminent death of my mark. Good to know. And likewise, with whatever errands of your own you have. Soon as I saw that glint in your eye, I knew we'd make a solid team.
1,000 bottles of dust. 50 bottles of tears.
Seeming surprised, Ifan gladly takes the drink from your hands and downs a hefty glug.
Ah, that hit the spot.
He holds the flagon out to you. The alcohol hits you like the void itself. Your head spins and your feet feel unsteady. Suddenly, being stuck in a prison ruled by the despotic order doesn't strike you as the worst way to spend time.
This reminds me of sharing Rotgut with Roost and the boys back at camp. Wish they weren't so far. So tell me, if we weren't stuck here, what would you be doing with your time? Not what I'd choose for myself, but you do you. Relic of flame. That brew went straight to my bladder. If you'll excuse me.
Buck up, old chap. There's plenty of singletons about.
What did you say?
That's what happened, isn't it?
Ha! I found you, didn't I? Red, they said. Red, then dead. Them that pay the bills, of course. I'll be a rich man when you're 6 feet under. Time's up, Your Highness. Let's dance.
One more chance to shut that ugly mouth of yours. Goodness, but this... There's plenty of singletons about.
It's stabbing time.
Glory is mine.
50 bottles of tears. Make the hinges rust.
to none.
Damned nuisance these assassins are. It's their frightful manners I mind the most, really.
If you think about it logically,
Well, that was rather fun, wasn't it? I do find it ever so invigorating to cut a cutthroat's throat.
come on, chap. Don't be unreasonable. Better even to puke yourself to death than get purged. What do you think? We should be happy.
Oh, let's not succumb to melodrama, shall we? This kind of gutter vermin can hardly be said to be dangerous. Besides, one gets used to this kind of thing so quickly. This is hardly the first time someone's filled some poor fool's purse and bid him kill the prince. I'll tell you what, though. Whomever wants me out of the picture will have to do a lot better if they seek to get the better of me. All those bumblers they've sent so far mark a mere insult to my swordsmanship.
Goodness, but this place has me. Gods. The smell, though. I'm gonna give you one more chance to shut that ugly mouth of yours. Goodness, but this place has made you cranky. Look up, old chap. There's plenty of singletons about.
Comes about all dilly ID.
You see, he likes it big.
Coloured like a dog. A very tall, very beautiful dog. I'd pity you. But Sceptre the Ineffable has a soft spot for beauty, and you carry that trigger off so very well.
All the blokes.
You see, he'll touch it all day long.
Ha! Words, mere words. My claws can clip barn shackles as easily as a hair on your pretty head. But what can those five-fingered paws do? Nothing. Madam, those collars are not iron. Are you blind? Poor dear, not fit to shake my sauce-infused claw. Bow to me. Bow to the most powerful sorcerer on this isle. This power is my birthright, same as yours. But one of us has grown to amazing heights, and the other has grown into astounding beauty, and also not a little height. Sorcerers dance while magisters pull the strings. Fools all! Their tomfoolery won't save them from the destruction the void shall wreak upon them. But of course, they'll happily dump your stunningly beautiful yet maggot-ridden corpse into the sea when they're through with you. Oh, the tragedy of it.
See, he likes it thick and long.
Ha! Of course, precious. But which is worse, the cure or the disease?
See, he likes it big and strong. He tweaks the nubs, he strokes and pokes like all the blokes. You see, he'll touch it all day long. Come on, you stubborn hunk of garbage.
The dwarf's fingers clamp around a splintered chunk of wood nailed to the skeleton of an old ship. His whole body strains with the effort of wrenching the plank free, to no avail.
Ah! Eh? Oh, that. That won't be my first or last roll on a lost boat. Reckon I might have had a harder time of it without your help, though. Bravery on the high seas is rewarded tenfold in the hall, you know. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got business to attend to.
The dwarf spits into each of his calloused palms and rubs them together before placing them both back on the plank and pulling.
Bleeding nail must be charmed or something. Yeah. Go on then. Why don't you give it a shot?
You grab the plank and pull. The rusted nail pops loose, and the plank promptly crumbles to pieces in your hand.
Oh, look at that. Nice of you to finish the job after I loosened her up.
He winks and flips a gold coin toward you. It makes a long, high arc, glinting in the sun, and lands squarely in your hand.
For your trouble. No, but I'd hoped to build something with it that would be worth 1,000. Yeah, it were a fool's errand thinking I could make something out of this heap, but I couldn't help myself from trying.
He sucks a finger and holds it up to the wind, testing the breeze.
Winds like these, she would have capsized before she reached the break. Well, on to plan B.
He gives you a wry look, as though deciding whether to trust you.
Aye, was planning to build me a raft and paddle off. I've got business north of here, in a town called Driftwood. Far be it from me to miss an appointment. Maybe you don't.
He stands before you and pokes you in the side, seizes your shoulder with a great, strong hand.
There's something of you, you know? You don't have to accept your fate on this bloody island. You can leave here, get on with your life. Why don't we make a deal then? You help me get out of this place, and I'll do the same for you. That's the spirit.
He lifts an invisible cap and bows with the grace of a courtier.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. The name's... well, the name's dead and buried. What matters is what they call me. Beast. Hey now, it's quite a nice-sized place, actually. Play your cards right and I'll invite you for the summer. I'll tell you when you're older. Anyhow, we're a team now, so the me is not half as important as the us. Let's get down to brass tacks. Fighting, I mean. I've been up and down the realm so often it'd make your cabbage spin, and I picked up a few tricks along the way. Truth be told, I've grown fond of crushing and casting. A battle mage, if you like. But there's not so important as team dynamics. So what'll it be? I've more muscle in an inch than most have got in a mile. What do you have in mind in particular? Then it's settled. Capital! Well, that's that sorted. Onward then. I've got to get out of here, and soon. And I suppose you do too. Not drawing many winning cards of late, but I won't be crying over it. Sailed away from my last island prison scot-free. No reason I can't do it again. You noticed that, eh? Well, I'm a lot of things, but subtle ain't one of them. So, there's some things you ought to know about me. I'm sort of... kinda royalty. I mean, I never wore a crown. Not with diamonds in it, anyway. I once stuck a wreath on my head and... oh, sorry. I need to stop with that whole tangent thing. Anywho, let's just get it out there. I'm a bastard. The literal kind. And the other kind. The royals weren't all great with me, and I weren't too great with them. To make an overlong story over short, I started the rebellion and got caught and exiled to an island prison. Like Fort Joy, but 10 times worse. I would have died there too, if one of Justinia's ships hadn't sailed so close. So, I kinda took it, and off I went. Cool, right? Then I came upon the Victory. Nice ship. The royal sailors walked the plank as well as you could hope for. That's where I found the notes. Right there in the open, next to the manifest. I'm no pirate. I just play the part. I prefer revolutionary. Yeah, it's got a nice ring to it. Now let's see how quick I can tell you the rest. Queen Justinia's ordered some dwarf named Lohar to ambush a ship called the Peacemaker and take its cargo. Whatever's on it, she's using it against the rebels. She calls it Operation Downfall. Pretty ominous, eh? So, yeah, hoping to find this Lohar fellow and stop the Operation Downfall thing. And there you have it. Tangent-free. Mostly. Well, not mostly. A little. Okay, not at all. I'm no people person, but I've had a run-in or two with magisters before, and let me tell you, most of them couldn't pour water out of a boot. One way or another we'll slip past them. Just keep your head to the ground. You'll get more than an earful of dirt, I promise. So, you read through it all, which means you know what I'm up against. Not much more than the paper told you. But it's enough to know I've got to stop Justinia. She's got the rebellion in her sights. My comrades. My friends. Listen up. The Queen was a good woman once, and I'm a bastard cousin, so I would know. Come rainy days, we'd sail paper boats and drop beetles on them for plank walking. She was never a beast, but her spirit roamed free. Then Queen Laura died, and it was Justinia's turn. The Divine Order was growing, and the lizards were on the move. First it was just flags. The royal insignia always flapping in my face, demanding my allegiance. Then it spread. You say a good word about Lucian, and you just disappeared. Artists were cleared from the streets, replaced by royal goons in full armour. And the lizards would come, they said, and we should all be ready to take up arms if the Queen demanded it. There was no way to live. Me and the others, we decided it was time for a change.
Shadows of the past cloud his bright eyes. He no longer looks at you, but through you.
A storm is brewing, we can be sure of that. But I'm just as sure the sky will clear after. The gulls will come back to perch and the sun will dry our faces. That peace is all the more special when you've heard the thunder before it.
Easy now, old chap. It isn't my fault she's dead. Gods. The smell, though.
I'm gonna give you one more chance to shut that ugly mouth of yours.
Good, please. Excuse us.
You're talking to me, not her, Sam.
Oh, for the love of Lucian, Balladeer. You're acting like a madman.
Say it again. What you said about my wife. Go on. Go on, Sam.
Well, it's the truth, and you know it. She's better off. So what if it was messy? I'd rather puke myself to death 1,000 times than let the Reds get to me. If she were my wife, I'd be happy for her.
A flat smile twitches across Balladeer's lips.
She never did like you. I'll be with you soon, love.
The man looks for a moment at the corpse at his feet, then turns back toward the nearly finished coffin, bloodied hammer in hand.
Murder's a big word. And no, this here's a bed for someone 1,000 times better than that snake. Rest her soul. The love of my life, Gret. She passed in the night. Something in the stomach. Doctor couldn't help her.
He tenderly runs a hand along the coffin's side panel.
If she were here, she'd tell me this plank is crooked. Chastise me for using warped wood on her final bed. Then she'd laugh and kiss me. Just here.
The man holds a hand to his cheek for a moment. He turns from you, lines up another nail, and hammers it into the panel.
I'll be with you soon, love.
He taps hammer to nail and doesn't look up.
Attracted to swords. But why?
The lizard's brow knits together, then apart, and back again. He seems to be swimming deep in his thoughts, and doesn't look up as you approach.
The ground. I don't know what you... I'm just trying to work it out. What happened? Why? My mind? What else, my friend? I'm wondering why. All of this. Source, the Voidwoken, the Divine. Why? We've used Source for thousands of years. We have used it to heal, to grow. How can it be that it suddenly summons these horrors from the void? And when will Alexander ascend to divinity? We cannot continue like this. I fear it will be quite some time before we find any answers at all, my friend. Though it doesn't hurt to ponder. Goods. Ah, yes, of course. Have a look. When another divine arises, will Source change back? What if there are no sorcerers left?
The dwarf slaps his knees and chest until a buoyant rhythm develops and begins to, well, not sing exactly, but chant.
They stole me boots and burned me hat, but beast of the sea will come asking for me. They locked me up with a pig and a rat, but beast of the sea will come asking for me. Oh, not bad for being off the top of me head.
He bows to an almost comical depth, then rises and laughs.
Welcome to the Joy, my famed friend. Well, I wasn't feeling so welcome till now. You almost had me dancing. You get any more songs in you? This savage beast could use some soothing.
Well, I got a right good rebel whooper on hand, warning of the barbaric beast. The other, well, it ain't so respectful, but Royal Guards folk on holiday always ate it up.
Gotta admit, I'm tired of hearing the shanties all singing my praises. Let's hear the Royalist tune. I bet it dresses me down real good.
One Royalist tune coming up. Oh, Macus Miles, bastard born, the man of life enraged him. A gnashing varmint he became, so Queen sought then to cage him. A pitiful sight, his inadequate fight, the quivering lump sent out of Queen's sight. Marcus Miles, bastard born, the royal knights upstaged him.
Ha! I knew there'd be some good lines in there. Quivering lump. Too funny to be mad at.
The Royal Guard. They'd sing this while wandering the hinterlands, looking for rebels in the shadows. It was some time ago, of course. Back when you were banished to the Isle of Mists.
Beast looks to the ground for a moment, but just a moment. His cheeks rise and redden, and he roars in laughter.
Those were the days, eh, chum? Well, I've got to get moving. Good to see a friendly face, though. Ain't too many wandering around this glum camp.
Say, I don't know any elvish ditties. Got anything spicy enough to keep my mind off this place for a few bars?
The dwarf hums the tune back to you and breaks into a huge smile. He shakes your hand, unwilling to interrupt the song, and keeps humming. The dwarf is still happily humming the tune you showed him. He winks as you pass by.
Ho ho! You ain't come to shake me down for my knickers, have you? You're all I got left after your buddies were through with me. Ho! Right kind of you, my friend. I've grown quite attached to 'em over the years. Well, almost literally in this filthy place. Ho! Oh, give us a smile. We may be here, but at least we're alive. And it's 1,000 bottles of dust. 50 bottles
Not
of tea.
drawing many winning cards of late, but I won't be crying over it. Sailed away from my last island prison scot-free. No reason I can't do it again. Well, it's complicated. Where to even begin? They're gorillas.
Beast chuckles as your forehead crinkles in confusion.
You know, as in guerrilla warfare? Ah, Geralt, I thought you had a funny bone in you, but I swear some witch doctor's gone and yanked it out. Good women, good men. Still fighting the good fight, too, though most of them fled to the hinterlands. The wave dancer's crew's probably gone to join him. No offense to you, but I miss them. Still, it's probably best I don't subject them to all this. Power, plain and simple. It's like this. Some people, when they get a taste of something delicious, they want more and more of it. Like fried sea bass. Once you start, you can't stop slurping. Justinia got a taste of that power the first time she threw a mouthy jester into the dungeon at the urging of her advisor, just because he pointed out her, rotundness. That's a word, right? That's where it started. And it still ain't finished. Of course I did. But I didn't have the sway that advisor of hers had. Might as well have spilled my guts to a stone wall. Amazing how quick things changed. When I was a lad, Laura would invite lizard dignitaries, elven seers, folk like that. Big fish from other ponds. Now, a lizard don't dare step foot in the kingdom, lest some sword-loving royalist scrape off his scales. Can't stand those types. But I don't blame them. Some folk, they've got the short end of the stick. They've got lots of anger in their hearts. And when your queen tells you who you're supposed to hate, well, that's who you hate. Shite like that, that's why I did the noble thing. I fought it. You shouldn't have to fear your own queen, and you shouldn't have to fear some bogeyman just because that queen's needing a scapegoat. Aye, this is a good one. Now, close your eyes and let it wash over you. The beast of the sea is skippering his beloved ship, the Wave Dancer, heading to Reaper's Coast. His target's there, you see, a notorious criminal kingpin called Lohar. The sails are full and the crew's in right spirits, barking shanties like a chorus of seals. Tell my mates I sailed the straits, and soon will dock in the Echo's Hall. Ain't to last, though. Magister ships surround the Wave Dancer like sharks circling their prey. The brave rebels are on the ropes until the legendary beast boards the Magister flagship and summons a cyclone the likes of which no man or woman has seen. Rain and wind, void-woken everywhere, and our hero beast, the valiant, selfless beast, surrenders himself to the Magisters so the Wave Dancer may escape amid the rising chaos. What bravery! What sacrifice! Ah, what bollocks. I ain't no hero. Besides, you know how the rest goes. Hell, you're helping to write it. The Magisters haul me off, and soon enough, I'm heading to Fort Joy. Collared, like the beast I am. Ah, you're making me blush. Truth is, a captain's only as good as his crew, but we all share a common goal. Freedom. The Dwarven people, we've been through a lot. We deserve it. So, how'd they get you? Well, I won't pry until I have to. But I should tell you, I ain't too big on secrets. A well-greased crew's got no time to be dancing around each other. As for me...
He runs a hand slowly down the plaits of his beard, smiling sumptuously.
I don't plan to spend a moment longer here than is strictly necessary. As far as I can tell, he's doing the Queen's dirty work. Based on that letter, their plan was this. Lohar and his people sink a Magister ship, the Peacemaker. They transfer its cargo to the Victory, and then the Victory sails off to Duna knows where. No telling what the cargo is, but it means trouble.
He winks.
And not the good kind. And here I thought I was a talker. I'm no people person, but I've had a run-in or two with Magisters before, and let me tell you, most of them couldn't pour water out of a boot. One way or another we'll slip past them. Just keep your head to the ground. You'll get more than an earful of dirt, I promise.
Not attracted to swords.
Yeah, what of it?
Ah, grab it in your gobblers, the both of you!
If you don't like the game, Topsy, you can fold.
No, no! Stay back. Stay back. Monster bednest away from I don't think I ain't watching. That's your fifth blue jester this round.
Looky here, mates. A fresh face. We love fresh faces, don't we? Oh, yes, we do. Why don't you join us in a round of cards? First hands on the house. Chuff to you, Chief. Here are your cards. You're up first.
You glance at your hand. 2 purple monarchs. A hard hand to beat.
Quite the hand, Freshie. Unfortunately, 2 is less than 5, and that's how many purples I've got. I reckon that makes me the winner. I'll be having your fee then. Blaming a bloke you just met for your misfortune, are ya? Ease off, or I'll go ahead and double what you owe. Well, ain't you the playful one, gorgeous? I like them odds. Let's play.
He reaches towards you to take a card and... His purse slips easily into your palm, and you secrete it away.
Hey, hold on a darn minute there. These cards are marked. But you guessed that already, didn't ya? All right then, what am I holding? Wrong. You may be beautiful, but you've got the brains of an elf. Pay up now, or we'll have to play some other games with you, seeing you're such a playful thing. Go on then. Whatever pennies you've got in your pocket ain't worth my breath. But don't you go telling Griff I was soft on you. Another inmate, but you wouldn't guess it. Runs this place like he's Dallas herself. Shouldn't be too hard to find him in the kitchen, but he doesn't take too kindly to your kind.
I'm not mad, darling. I'm not mad. Sweetheart? I know exactly. Didn't I? Irma? Where are you, darling?
You there, elf? I'm looking for an inmate. A smallish man, thick spectacles, prone to somewhat eccentric chatter. He wears a large bronze pendant with a dragon stamped into it. Have you seen him? None of your business, inmate. Find me if you hear of a me go. Otherwise, don't waste my time.
Irma? Where are you?
If you don't like the game, Topsy, you can fold.
The priest's jaws might be sewn shut with fishing wire, so harshly do they clench at the sight of Beast. He speaks one clipped, precise syllable.
Son. I'm not offended by the Beast, no matter how foul that name feels to my lips. Just disappointed.
He turns his attention to Beast himself, whose face looks oddly blank, given his usual rambunctious demeanor.
Did you think your merry band could try to toss Justinia into the sea and the clouds will turn to rainbows? A storm of your making still rages, and whenever word of your deeds reaches her ears, lightning strikes. When your flunkies scream for revolution, I know what they're really screaming for, Beast. And I know it's dwarven blood being shed.
Someone had to stand up to Justinia. Not all of us are like you religious types. You fold up your hands and pray. Like that's going to feed the hungry and bathe the young. I'm not given to prayer. I just get things done.
I would sooner implore Duna to intervene than to leave behind a trail of crimson limbs for the innocent to clean away.
The priest collects himself. His eyes still burn, but his words are ice.
May the Seven bless you, Beast.
Not drawing many winning cards of late, but I won't be crying over it. Sailed away from my last island prison scot-free. No reason I can't do it again. Aye, the right enemies. I ain't saying I'm some proper role model, but you show me anyone whose heart ain't soaked in shadow and they'll have enemies. If you're light, the darkness is your enemy. If you're song, then it's silence. And if you're a free man or woman, then tyranny is your foe. You've got enemies, haven't you? Aye, sometimes you make enemies just by being who and what you are. That's all it takes. They'll hate you because of the source in you, or because you've got scaly skin, or because you eat limbs. Okay, I admit that one still creeps me out sometimes, but don't judge me too harshly. We're still good, yeah?
Hey. Hi.
Ooh, so serious. What's up? Well, I was giving this concert up on Overlook Hill. There was a great crowd. They were really feeling it. But I guess it was too good. I had me a little sauce flare-up. Everyone went a bit, I don't know, wild, rabid. I snapped out of it before anyone got hurt, but the Magisters caught me backstage afterwards. At least I went down doing what I loved. How very sweet of you to notice. I know, it's weird. One of the many side effects of the visitor upstairs.
She drums on her forehead with 2 fingers, smiles grimly, and shrugs.
They used to be blue. Oh well.
She bats her eyelashes at you in an exaggerated flutter, then bursts out laughing and punches your arm.
Ha Character. I like that. I'm going to use that. If I can say nothing else for my current companion, at least I can say it gave me a bit of character. So what's it like, being alone in your head?
Our Father, who presideth over us all.
People say that. Of course I do. What's your poison? Well, damn. I never was much of a percussionist, but still. I reckon it's hard to sit still to jungle shakes.
Losa clears her throat and starts stomping a steady beat into the ground, kicking up dust that dances to the rhythm. Slowly, she claps an intricate pattern above the beat, hips swaying, head nodding. The beat builds into a riot of sound, her hands and feet moving in an inscrutable pattern. She takes a deep breath and starts humming above the rhythm, a sound like a train, like a flock of birds, like nothing else.
Savage hearts in it. In a savage... Oh! I can't. It isn't that. Never mind. We should keep moving. Nope. This one doesn't talk to me. It talks through me. You'll know it when you see it. Easy. I'd say we get out of this place. Dunno how long they plan to keep us here, but I'd rather not find out.
As soon as I saw that glint in your eye, I knew we'd make a solid team.
He freezes and shoots you a wary glance, looking for all the world like a wild animal caught in the lantern light of a racing carriage.
Well, why not? Go ahead. That I did, in Lucian's own army.
Send us your children, your supplicants, and you divine.
He presses his lips tightly together and looks away. There's a coldness in his eyes you haven't seen until now.
There's a reason I don't wear order garb anymore. But let's talk about those old days another time. Drop it. Soon as I saw that glint in your eye, I knew we'd make a solid team.
He freezes and shoots you a wary glance, looking for all the world like a wild animal caught in the lantern light of a racing carriage.
Well, why not? Go ahead.
Ifan begins counting on his fingers and muttering to himself. This goes on for quite some time.
43, give or take. Maybe you want to remember. I prefer to keep looking forwards. The one contract I hold right now interests me more than any number I've completed. What else do you want to know? That I did, in Lucian's own army. Yeah. Stay out of their way. From the rank and file to the top brass, they're as ruthless as the wildest lone wolf. But the difference? A wolf never tries to hide what he truly is. There's a reason I don't wear order garb anymore. But I don't like to talk about those days. Thanks for understanding. Now, let's keep moving. Soon as I saw that glint in your eye, if you must. Not much, I'll tell you that. Why? What do you think of them? Sharp eyes, lass. But they can't keep the likes of us locked up too long, I'll wager. Come on, let's poke around and see if we can sniff out some blind spots in their surveillance.
Our Father, who presideth over us all. Greetings, child. You must be very far from your homelands indeed. Hurts to be so far from your loved ones, eh? I know the feeling. No one's truly fine alone, my friend. People need each other, just as we need a divine.
Is it not enough that you travel with me? Must you speak too? Go on then, bark away. Let's see if we can find any method in it. Oh, I think of them as little as possible. As much, I imagine, as you think of gadflies that buzz about you. Not that there is anything wrong with you, of course, just that you're, well, not all that impressive. As impeccably mundane as I have come to expect from this world. Regardless, further study will be required. In fact...
The skeleton pulls a notebook from his robes and starts scribbling. After a moment, he pauses and looks back to you.
Sorry, do carry on. Just act as you do in your natural environment. Simply pretend I'm not here. Ah, this is perhaps the first intelligent question you have asked. After all, one should always try to learn from one's betters. My people are a race far beyond anything that exists in the world today. We seek to master the secrets of the universe. We craft wonders to last through the ages, long after your crude tools have rusted to nothing. No, I should not. Not yet. Not until I know what truly befell my people. And, after all, I am still here, despite the Voidwoken's best efforts. I do not know. There are rumors that some have been found at the Black Pits, an oil field on Reaper's Coast. I was trying to uncover the truth when I was waylaid by these magisters. But wherever the artifacts of my people are, I will find them. We have not simply vanished into thin air. There is a great variety among our people. Some are tall and lithe, others short and muscled. Some come in a variety of eye-catching colors. Others you can barely see at all. This is what makes you such an abomination, you see. You look almost exactly like every other elf out there. Just as every human looks like every other human.
Walking through this world is as repulsively bland as staring at a wall for a century. After a while, the very sight of you disgusts me. No offense, of course. Ignorant! I dare say I have a better knowledge of this world than any creature living in it. Oh, I may be missing some social mores or be unaware of what king waged which war, but why nitpick? Your history is an interminably dull list of mortals that were born, achieved nothing of worth, and then died. Certainly one may have expanded his kingdom, or another invented some way of pickling fish, but what does it matter? Where will your kingdoms be in 100 years? In 1,000? They will all be dust, along with each and every one of your great heroes. Your people and nations come and go, mayflies screaming their importance at a universe that cannot listen. But the universe is always there. The laws that govern your states change over centuries, but the laws of the world... Even when my people walked this land, a dropped apple still fell to the ground. I have yet to see the mortal king that can decree all apples must fall up from their trees, or order fire to produce cold instead of heat. No, these laws stretch to infinity. Understanding them lets you understand the world. That is knowledge worth having. Everything else is arguing over who has built the prettiest sandcastle as the waves creep closer. The Mask of the Shapeshifter? In my time, it was nothing more than a novelty. A toy, really. I crafted one for my child once. She spent the day trying to convince me that she was her mother, even though the face I used looked nothing like her. Of course, now that toy could be the difference between life and... well, it makes a difference. With that mask, I can shapeshift and walk through this world looking like any other simple mortal. I could look like a lizard, a dwarf, a human, any creature whose face I can procure. It certainly makes traveling through towns easier. Fear? Please. Why would I fear these creatures? It's a practical choice, nothing more. Moving through this world is so much easier when you don't have to lecture some torch-wielding lunatics on the dangers of an open flame. Oh, it's quite simple. One just acquires a face, a source orb, and combines the two to make a face mask. Combining several of these single face masks along with a source orb will produce a mask of the shapeshifter. Frankly, I'm amazed everyone isn't doing it.
Lest the void overtake and devour us all.
Oh, of course there are. How many hundreds of thousands of you people have died over the years? Almost all of them seem to have been disposed of while still wearing perfectly serviceable faces. It's a terrific waste. Still, without the proper tool to remove the face from a corpse, I cannot take advantage of the many cadavers you're providing. So if you happen across anything that seems capable of ripping a face off a body, please do let me know. Trust you bloody-minded beasts to turn a child's trinket into a wicked purpose. People like you are the reason it must be recovered. I am using the mask to keep myself safe from the violence of this world. Who knows what evil it could do in the hands of some mortal witch. Well, I thought a brief swim in the sea, lying in the sun for a while, and maybe read a nice book. Or perhaps, and this is just a thought, we could find my mask and escape this wretched island.
Quite right. Do seek my counsel. I highly recommend it.
Our Father, who presideth over us all.
As am I. A prince should die of old age or on the battlefield. Anything else could be construed as weakness of character. Quite right. Do seek my counsel. I highly recommend it. Quite right. Do seek my counsel. I highly recommend it. As am I. A prince should die of old age or on the battlefield. Anything else could be construed as weakness of character. That said, I've the distinct feeling I wasn't meant to die today, for despite your heroics, I was still cast into the water. I sank. I drowned. But there was something in the water. A voice made of air that soothed my flooding lungs. There was sudden light, warmth, life. Truly, how intriguing. To hear a voice whilst drowning is a rather specific delusion to share, is it not? Still, I wonder if...
He hesitates.
Are you a religious person? I'm rather relieved to hear it. Religious persons tend to be all too self-important in their supposed humility. As for myself, I perform the ancient rites of prayer and ceremony with a kind of languid indulgence. After all, when one is revered by many as a living god oneself, public deprecation would be needlessly self-important as well, wouldn't you say? There was a small incident which prompted my many rivals to move against me. Technically, they had the letter of the law on their side. Such a nuisance, the law. Quite necessary to keep the common in line, of course, but one such as myself it should exempt as a matter of course. What I meant was that, being authority, I shouldn't be under any thumb. I had thought that was perfectly obvious. Sadly, that enlightened point of view quite clearly turned out to be academic. If not, we wouldn't be having this very conversation. I hardly know you as yet. Let's leave some mystery in the relationship, shall we? We can exchange criminal records later. Dozens, I should imagine, but if we're talking about the ones that came after my exile, this would be number 5. Let them come, I say. Keeps one sharp. There isn't much to say, but for the fact that I simply must. It's the portent of it all. I can feel it. The revelation will be world-changing. I just know it. How you lack in vision. By the time I'm done, I will have real castles in the sky. As certain as the sun, such is my conviction. I will be, then grow beyond being. I intend to rule an empire one day, not a tiny outcropping in the sea, lording over gulls and guppy fish. To that end, I suggest we focus on the obvious. A farewell to Fort Joy and a hello to the mainland. Of course, I'd much appreciate it if we managed to find a dreamer first.